Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another weekly banger, weekly episode on Chemistry Uncovered. Here at Chemistry Uncovered, our mission is to go under the magnifying glass and uncovering the mysteries of chemistry and furthermore the world, because the atom is the building block to planet Earth, right? So welcome to Chemistry Uncovered. This week we're going to talk about covalent bonds. This is Chemistry Uncovered episode number 11. Now, before I start, please leave in the comments any fascinating chemistry video ideas you guys have. We are always trying to upload state-of-the-art premier chemistry tutoring content. So if you guys have any suggestions, please leave in the comments below. Turn on your notification bells and subscribe. Now, without further ado, we're going to talk about covalent bonds, right? So the topics we're going to cover first will be bond order and bond energy. Bond order and bond energy correlate with each other. And then the second topic we're going to talk about is polarity, right? Now, before we start with this, right, what are covalent bonds? What are the bonds holding this tetrahedral in this presentation together? What are the bonds that hold these two atoms, the green atom and the white atom together? What are the bonds that hold these two atoms together? And what are the two bonds that hold these two atoms together, right? Like, what are these covalent bonds? Essentially, covalent bonds is the bonding between shared electrons between atoms within a molecule. Shared bonding, which are these bonds right here, shared electrons between atoms within a molecule, right? Now, usually these bonds are between nonmetals because nonmetals tend to gain electrons. So when you have two nonmetals that bond with each other, they just tend to share that electron because both of them have a tendency of gaining an electron, right? Now, without further ado, bond order, right? So the first bond is a single bond, next to a double bond, to a triple bond, and then to a quadruple bond, right? A single bond is one pair of shared electrons. So sorry about the screen being covered. Some examples of this is hydrogen and chlorine. When two hydrogens bond or when two chlorines bond, they create a single bond. For double bonds, it's two pairs of shared electrons. Examples is oxygen, sulfur. For triple bond, three pairs of shared electrons, which are nitrogen and phosphorus. And finally, now quadruple bonds are really rare, but if you see these, two carbons bonding together, they can create a quadruple bond, right? Now, bond energy, right? Bond energy is directly correlated to bond order. They are actually directly proportional, right? So the higher the bond order, the higher the energy, because the bond energy is the energy needed to break a bond. And if you have a higher bond order, the attraction is greater, right? Attraction between these two atoms is greater than attraction between these two because of more bonds. So you need more energy to break the bond. As you increase in bond order, the bond energy increases as well. Last but not least, we're going to talk about polarity. Now, polarity is the separation of electric charges, right? In short, in a condensed form, polarity is the difference in electronegativity. Now, if you guys forgot what electronegativity is the relative ability for an atom to attract electrons. Essentially, each atom has a tendency to gain an electron, but some atoms have greater ability to gain an electron and become more stable, right? Another example is magnesium and fluorine. Because magnesium is +2 magnesium, you need 6 more electrons to become more stable. But fluorine, you only need 1 electron to become more stable, which means that fluorine is a lot more electronegative than magnesium, right? Which causes the polarity. And so some examples of these, there are 4 examples up here: hydrochloric acid, nitrogen, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide, right? Monoxide, mono meaning 1, dio meaning 2. That's the difference between the two. Partial negative, partial positive, partial negative is the atom that has a greater tendency to gain an electron. So the more attractive forces will go to the partially negative side, which creates polar molecule. Pause the video right now. Try to draw all of these 4 molecules with the Lewis structure tips I gave you in one of the previous videos. I want you to focus on the covalent bonds between those where they share electrons and focus on the polarity. So yeah, these are the answers. So for hydrochloric acid, the electrons go towards chlorine. For nitrogen, it's nonpolar because they're both the same atom. For carbon monoxide, I'm sorry you can't see that, but essentially for carbon monoxide, oxygen is more polar than carbon, so electrons would go towards oxygen. Oxygen has a higher electronegativity, so the electrons will be attracted to the oxygen more. And for carbon dioxide, now this one's interesting because this one has two bonds, right? The carbon bonding to two oxygens. And so here, while the oxygens are still partially negative and the carbon's partially positive, it's nonpolar because the electronegativity polarity cancels out. So, why do I teach polarity? Why do I teach bond order? Why do I teach bond energy? Why do I teach covalent bonds? Why do I show you guys these amazing bonds, triple bonds, double bonds, single bonds? Well, it's to make the world a better place. As I will end every single video saying, please do your part in making the world a better place with this chemistry information I teach you, with the information you are taught in your everyday lives. You guys have a duty to make this world a better place, and just go out there, have fun, smile, be happy, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We are on the road to 100. We are 2 subscribers away, so please subscribe. Thank you so much. Peace out.